Hi everyone, Angela here. Today I'm going to show you how to make this Dalmatian Fun Fur scrunchie. Recently I saw the trailer for Disney's Cruella movie and it reminded me of the scrunchies I used to make about 30 years ago. So I went to the fabric shop today and picked up some of this fabric. To make this you'll need some fun fur fabric, 8 inches of 1/2 inch wide elastic, a marking pen, clippers, scissors, and a ruler. First lay the fun fur with the wrong side facing up. Again, you're going to need a 20-inch or 50 centimeter length of fabric. We're going to need to remove the selvage edge, so with your ruler and marking pen, mark about 1 inch up from the selvage edge. For the width, mark across 7 inches up from that line. Then make sure both ends are nice and square. Now cut out your fabric along the lines. Even though we cut the length of the scrunchie along the straight grain, you can see that it's still a bit stretchy. And on the cross grain of the fabric, it's really super stretchy. And that's why we don't want to cut the length of the scrunchie along this side. Flip your fabric over with right side up and then fold in half lengthwise. On the center folds, we want to make little cuts about 1/8 of an inch or 3 millimeters long. Now match the side edge to the center and cut notches on both sides of this fold. And repeat for the other side. You should have 3 little notches along each of the longer sides. This will help us line up our fabric when we're stitching. Now fold your fabric in half again, matching up the shorter sides. Take the ends of your elastic and overlap about 3/8 of an inch or 1 centimeter and stitch across the width a few times and then trim all of your threads. Again, with right sides together, line up those short edges and we're going to place the pin about 1 inch down from the top edge. Then leave a space about 3 fingers wide and place another pin. With a 1/2 inch seam allowance, start by back tacking, stitch to the first pin and back tack again, skip over that space, back tack at the pin, and then stitch right to the end, back tacking to finish, and then remove both your pins. Open up your fabric and just have the seam that you've just sewn on the bottom. Roll the top layer of fabric into a nice skinny roll. Then pull up the bottom layer, match the seam, and open up the seam allowances on both sides. Then you're going to take your elastic and place it between the fabric in the center and push it over to the left side. Match your seam again and keep the seam allowances open. With the elastic and the inner roll out of your way, start by stitching with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, back tack right on that seam to start with, pull a little bit of fabric through the elastic and continue stitching. With the needle down, pull a little bit of the fabric towards you, pull through the elastic again, and match your notches. Continue sewing like this all around, matching your notches. By sewing your scrunchie this way, there's no threading of elastic. Make sure to check out my tips for your scrunchie business video where I show you 3 different methods to sew your scrunchies. All information and links for everything I use is in the description below. If you're enjoying this tutorial, make sure to give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and turn on all of your notifications. When you get to the end, back tack to finish. Find the opening and push the fabric through with your thumb and pull the scrunchie right side out. Now take the seam allowance of the opening and fold over 1/2 inch on each side and match the folds. Now at this point you can sew by hand to close the opening, but I'm just going to stitch across by machine. Back tacking at the start and finish. Now the fur is going to be sewn flat and the stitches are going to be showing, so just take a needle and slowly pull the fur out from the seam. Once complete, the seam won't even be noticeable. And there you have it, a fun and unique scrunchie that doesn't pull on your hair. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, happy sewing!